Azure Media Services is a collection of cloud and edge media workflow services that enable you to build solutions requiring live video analytics, transcoding, multi-device delivery services, content protection, and live event broadcasting at scale. VIDIZMO provides an ease to its customers by either automating the configuration process via VIDIZMO Setup Wizard or performing the configuration manually if you are configuring Azure Media Services for content storage along with their advanced encoding services. Let's look at configuring Azure Media Services storage with AMS standard encoder. Please make sure you log into your portal as an administrator or manager to configure your portal's content provider and encoding provider. By the way, your previous content will remain intact and will be served from your pre-configured storage provider, unless you choose to migrate data. In the case of data migration, old content is copied to the new content storage and the copy of the content residing on older storage is purged based on the policy set in the portal. You need to perform a few steps in Azure Portal before running the Setup Wizard. VIDIZMO Portal requires you to enter a set of Azure user credentials while running Setup Wizard. The user credentials you will be using to configure your Azure Media Services storage account should be member of Application Administrators group in your Azure Active Directory and should have the role of an owner in the subscription under which you create your storage account. This will help the application connect with your application through Azure AD and have the required access rights to create your storage account and media service associated with it. Navigate to the Users page and check your user type to make sure it is a member of Application Administrators group and the source is Azure Active Directory. Before proceeding, please make sure the user is part of a single Active Directory tenant. Using the member account, go to Azure Subscriptions and check your role and permissions. It should be set to owner. Additionally, multi-factor authentication settings for that user should be turned off. Once you're done copying your Azure AD user credentials, you need to get subscription ID of the subscription under which you will create your Azure storage account. To get the subscription ID, go to Azure Subscriptions and copy the ID of your subscription along with your credentials. This ID will later be used while running Setup Wizard. You need to perform few steps in VIDIZMO Portal to execute the Setup Wizard. From the portal's homepage, click on the navigation menu from the top left corner of your screen and select Control Panel under Admin. From the left-hand side navigation pane in Control Panel, select Setup Wizard and click on Run Wizard again. By the way, VIDIZMO provides a set of default configurations for your storage and transcoding provider that can be overridden via Setup Wizard. Apart from the possible configurations, VIDIZMO also offers the flexibility of choosing any other storage providers or transcoders you want to configure your application with. From the Configuration tab, select AMS to configure it as your VIDIZMO storage for your system, from a list of available options in the drop-down menu. Now select AMS Standard Encoder to configure it as your encoder, from a list of available options in the drop-down and click Next to proceed to the new tab. From the Storage tab, you can select Government or Global as subscription. For this video, we will be selecting Global as subscription. Type or copy the username with the required permissions and settings as your login ID. Enter the password that you used to sign into the portal. Enter the ID of your subscription package in Azure as subscription ID. Enter the name that you want to set as storage name for your storage account in Azure. This name must be globally unique. Enter the name that you want to set as resource group name for your resource group in Azure, where you will organize your storage and media service together. This name must be unique within your Azure subscription. Now, select the physical location for your Azure servers to form a list of available options in the drop-down menu as location. Select standard_GRS as your replication. Having geo-redundant storage enabled, your data is durable even in the case of a complete regional outage or a disaster in which the primary region isn't recoverable. Select the standard _Verizon as your CDN SKU profile configured on your Azure CDN account with various privileges associated with each account. Now enter the name of media service to be configured on your Azure account as media service name. The name needs to be globally unique. Now enter the number of encoding units that sets the number of concurrent encoding jobs and processes you wish to run. Select standard S2 as encoding unit type, which corresponds to certain configuration settings in AMS for encoding. Now disable or enable DRM. This option enables digital rights management systems such as Microsoft PlayReady, Google Widevine or Apple FairPlay, etc. on uploaded media. Once you're done, click Next to proceed to the next tab. From the Transcoder tab, enter the description for your streaming endpoint and add units to scale your deployment. Check Enable CDN to enable Azure CDN for your storage. Enter cache that defines the number of seconds for caching content on edge nodes. Check or uncheck Migrate content as per your priority. This is used to migrate data from your previous storage provider to one you have configured. Once you're done, click Done to run the Setup Wizard and a notification will appear briefly stating, Setup Wizard started successfully. You can track the progress of the Setup Wizard for storage and transcoder configuration via workflows in the control panel. Well, that's all for this video. Check out some of our other guides to learn more about VIDIZMO. Stay tuned until next time.